Good morning. In case you don't know, this incident occurred on February 10th, approximately 2:47 p.m., the intersection of Highland Avenue and Council Rock Avenue in our town. We received multiple 911 calls for a pedestrian struck at that time. Upon our arrival, it was determined that our pedestrian was deceased at the scene, and we had basically a hit-and-run motor vehicle accident at that point. We had multiple witnesses providing us additional details that led us to a vehicle involved on East Main Street in the city of Rochester. That vehicle was found within 50 minutes of the actual accident, which occurred at Highland and Council Rock. We worked late into the night. I will tell you, our investigators worked over 20 straight hours to come to a successful conclusion at that point, locating the vehicle and piecing together the investigation. As the chief mentioned, the arrest took place yesterday, 5:15 p.m. Angelina Griffin was charged with murder in the second degree. Our investigative staff, who a lot of them are here in the room, I can't say enough about the way they work together as a team, along with Chief Benitez, who stood by our side throughout the whole investigation. Just to give you an idea of the extent of this investigation, we have over 450 hours invested. We have conducted 3 search warrants in the town of Brighton at residences and 2 in the city of Rochester. As Chief mentioned, our suspect in custody, Angelina Griffin, is currently on parole. She has a robbery conviction out of Richmond County, dated March of 17. She was convicted of attempted robbery in the first degree. At that time, she was sentenced to 42 months at the Albion Correctional Facility. She was released in April of 2020. Anybody have any questions for me?
What is this an intentional act? When people will hear that, they'll think she's moved her car at time of destruction. What makes
Sure.
this intentional?
Our investigation at this point leads towards basically a retribution for a robbery that may have taken place just prior to the actual incident that occurred at Highland and Council Rock.
Who stole from who?
The investigation right now suggests that our decedent somehow arrived at these apartments at the corner of East and Highland, known as the Country Club Apartments. There, an interaction took place with who we believe to be Angelina Griffin. A brief interaction took place, which at this point suggests a robbery. Our decedent left the scene walking or running down Highland Avenue, and our suspect, our defendant in this case, Angelina, left that apartment complex in a Mercedes-Benz, a high rate of speed, as the chief mentioned, and struck our decedent while he was walking on the shoulder of Highland Avenue. At that time, upon our arrival, several $1,000s was spread across Highland Avenue. Our decedent was in possession of a weapon at that point, and we had heard direct statements from witnesses that led us to believe a robbery may have just occurred. That portion of the investigation is active at this time, but it's safe to say at this point some type of robbery occurred.
Was the decedent the victim of that robbery?
We believe so, yes.
Did the two know each other prior to the robbery? How did that transpire?
We're still investigating that. I can't give you an answer at that right now. We conducted 3 search warrants in the town of Brighton at the apartment complex at East and Highland. We conducted 2 search warrants in the city of Rochester, East Main Street, and the other location was Maplewood Avenue. And then we conducted a search warrant on the vehicle involved, this Mercedes-Benz.
Can you talk about what you were able to find?
I don't want to give out details to what was discovered at the search warrant locations right now. Same goes for the Mercedes-Benz. We have the Mercedes-Benz. We're still conducting investigative leads into that. So at this time, I'd rather not talk about what evidence was found at the scenes.
The woman who was charged, does she live in our community now?
It appears as though she had an address on East Avenue.